Hey guys, Rexasaur here, and welcome back to Total War Online Battles. This is a battle on Rome 2 Large Fund sent to me by SaurusBlood, who is playing as the Nervii, which is very interesting. He sent me an email saying that this was his favourite faction. It's not one of the factions that I'm really used to seeing at all, really. It's very Gaelic, well, I mean, it's one of the Gaelic factions, so it has very Gaelic-like troops, and I actually really like the Gaelic factions, although I prefer the Zulu-Satani myself. For the Nervii are here. So there we go. Anyway, SaurusBlood has this following army. He has 2 Oathsworns, 2 mercenary Germanic scout riders, 4 mighty horse, 4 Gaelic hunters, 4 fierce swords, and 4 levy freemen. This is a very balanced force. It's a very large force is what it is. It has very strong infantry in terms of the 2 Oathsworn. And fierce swords aren't that bad themselves. I mean, they're pretty fierce, and they have swords. What else can you want, really, from a Gaelic faction? Also, these Levy Freemen, very interesting unit. I absolutely love the Levy Freemen. I think it makes the Gaelic factions so cool. Is the fact that they are very shitty spearmen to an extent. They can hold a line, but not very well. But the thing that they have, and what the fuck is going on? The thing that they have a lot of is javelins. They throw a lot of javelins. So basically just a range unit, but with spears. So it makes them just better because they're really cheap as well. They're not very expensive and they're pretty good. He's also got 4 Gaelic hunters who are very, very decent archers, as well as some mighty horse, which are very, very good horse. Maybe not as strong as other Gaelic horse like the noble horses, but mighty horses are pretty decent, and some mercenary Germanic scout riders who are just javelin cav, which are great. Who doesn't want that? On his opponent's side is the Iron Staff. Don't know how really to say that. He's playing as Egypt. His army consists of 1 unit of African war elephants, 2 citizen cav, 3 Egyptian slingers, 4 carrion axemen, 4 Levy Thuros spears, 4 pikemen, and 2 royal peltasts. So already, so once again, a very quite large army, but you can see the very big difference between these two is that SaurusBlood definitely has the cavalry advantage when it comes to this. However, the opponent, who is the Iron Star, I'm going to call him Iron, has a lot of spears and elephants. Elephants are very good against cav, very good against infantry. They're just very good in general. However, as you're going to see during this battle, I mean, the fact that SaurusBlood has archers is going to be very useful because there's not that many cav, which means that he can focus his fire on these units and take them down very quickly. In terms of infantry power, I've not really seen these carrion axemen, but I'm assuming because they have axes, they're going to be pretty decent against armor. However, Gaelic units don't really have that much armor, but against the Oathsworn, possibly. These Thuros spears, I've never really seen them before either. The fact that they have levy means to me that they're not very good. But they have semi-decent stats. They're not too bad. They're better than Levy Freeman, that's for sure. And then you got just the regular pikemen who are just generic pikemen when it comes to it, as well as royal peltasts who are very, very good. I really like royal peltasts. Although, you know, look how danky they go. Anyway, let's look into this battle straight away. Let it go. And we're going to see both the armies size their forces up, and I'm assuming move right forward. I've already seen this let's play this play, so I kind of know what's coming. But yeah, so we're going to see the 2 armies move towards one another after they've looked at each other's forces. At some point would be nice. No? There we go. Took them a while. So they're going to move forward. We got the Nervii SaurusBlood is going to move into this direction. Egypt is actually on a slight downhill slope, so he's got a very small disadvantage, but a disadvantage nevertheless. So he's going to try and even it out by getting up to this flat terrain here. Yes, it's going to be good. This road really needs to be better. SaurusBlood is going to send forth his mercenary cavalry, his Germanic scout raiders. He's going to put them through his units and right around to try and get to the flank. He's noticed he's got the cavalry advantage, and I think that's pretty noticeable in general. Having 4 mighty horse and 2 jav cav against basically 2 cav and 1 elephant is very, very, very good. These jav cav actually have got very superior good because they can actually... Superior good is what I just said. What the fuck? The very nice thing is the fact that their javelins can actually go and kill these elephants should they want to. I don't think that's what he's going to do, though. He's actually going to move forward and attack this flank. in a bit. Got 3 of the scout calves looking before their units, telling them what's coming. Yeah, so the Egyptian player is just going to set up on this side, and the Novio player is going to set up on this side as well. So very big standoff going on as in reality, and the Mighty Horse is actually going to go around the flank. He's moved, he's splitting them in half, put Tjorn is left, Tjorn is right, covering his advance. And here comes the Egyptian player. He's going to move forward. Don't know how far he's going to move forward, but he's going to get himself. Look how far the range of these missile infantry is. It's pretty insane. And he's going to move forward to, in response, he's going to leave his noble hunt. No, he is going to move with them as well. We have the Levy Thor Spears, who apparently have Jav as well. They're going to get fired on. They're not going to lose that many men. They've got very nice health and defense. Sizz and Cav going to be moved forward. They're going to take a few javelins, but they're actually going to move out of range before they do that. A few casualties taken from the Mercenary Scout Riders. Meanwhile, the main fight is actually opened up. It seems like SaurusBlood is moved forward, but he's probably moved a bit too close. All these units behind the Egyptian Slingers are going to have a field day if they don't move forward. These O swarms moving in. It seems like SaurusBlood is going to start firing his javelins into the enemy, into these pike lines, and then move into them. Actually, he's completely forget the French word now. He's completely moved around these these pikemen going around. Actually taking out these Karen Axemen straight away with a charge from these fierce swords. Oh my god, what the hell happened there? That's insane. O-Swarm moving into these Royal Power Towers, taking them out as well. Here comes the Mighty Horse around the flank. Here we have also a flanking of these Germanic Scout Cav. They're going around the side. The Mighty Horse aren't actually going to engage at this point. I'm just going to move because I remember there's some elephants here. African War Elephants going behind their lines, giving general bonus really. Levy Freeman getting absolutely massively charged against these Citizen Cav. Taking a lot of damage straight away, but they've held. Here comes the fire arrows straight into these African War Elephants, who are going to be, well, I mean, they're under threat of berserking, going wild if that continues. Really, this still fire is coming through, just moving in slowly. On the rest of the battlefield, these pikemen totally useless. They've not been used at all. They've been attacked from the rear. They've been attacked from the front by these Gaelic hunters. But it seems like the Nervii player, SaurusBlood, isn't really doing anything with these Levy Freemen either. I think they're just waiting on firing their missiles or getting some orders. Both these Thural spears, absolutely, just doing nothing. If he attacked from the rear with these horse, would do a lot. But I think they're just all focusing on this side. Here comes the elephants. The elephants now out of control from the continuous firing. More Thural spears going into these Gaelic hunters who aren't in skirmish mode. And here a long line of Mighty Horse charging into these Egyptian slingers. Probably should have been in a tighter formation, would have got a deeper attack and a better charge. These elephants doing a carnage on this side. Don't know how much of those is elephant stone, how much of it is citizen cav or stuff. But it seems like the vast majority of the Egyptian army has just disappeared, like wavering and shattering around. Here comes finally the Mighty Horse of charge on this side, but it seems like these pikemen and, well, actually it's just pikemen now. I thought it was the Thural spears, but they seem to be routing. Getting attacked from each side by the Levy Freeman and also some fierce swords around the side. I don't know if this formation seems a bit crappy. Probably not doing too good. Oswan's still alive on this side. It just seems like a clear up. I don't really know what happened to the Egyptian army. They sort of just disappeared. Very quickly, just disappeared. And here comes the African War Elephants. They're back. Having come back from being out of control and berserking off. These Levy's Forest Spears, decent. This is what I've never seen. They don't seem to have very decent stats. I mean, they're okay, like middle tier people, but they don't seem to be amazing. But they're still just keeping stuff. And these elephants getting absolutely pounded by these archers, putting in so many shots very quickly. They are very good archers, absolutely very good archers, taking out these elephants fast and furiously. Yes, I made that pun. And back to out of control for these elephants. They're going to take so much damage, and eventually the general is probably going to die. And once he does, the rest of the Egyptian army isn't going to do. But there's so many people just standing around doing nothing. It just seems like SaurusBlood is focusing on these tiny little battles going on, putting abilities and stuff. But he's not really focusing on doing the micromanagement. I mean, there's like a Thural spears here who aren't doing anything, but that's kind of Egyptian fault as well for not doing anything. Here comes the last elephant, goes down, and the rest of the Egyptian army is going to get wrecked. So there we go, a victory for SaurusBlood, a close victory. It kind of felt as if the Egyptian army just crumbled against the onslaught of these Nervii forces. Their high attack, high value swords unit. The Axemen totally getting wrecked on the charges. Really didn't see anything. I just saw one unit get wrecked and that was it. I don't know where the hell it went. If we look at the actual stats for stuff, we can see there's a lot of damage in terms. Everything did a lot of damage in terms of like these fierce swords and swordsmen. Now, Freeman understandably not doing like a lot of damage. They are still crappy spears, but they do have jabs. As you can see by these two units who get over 50 kills. I don't know what they killed, but they've got over 50 of them, so he must be doing something really good. These Gaelic Hunters not doing too good, but the vast majority of them, over 100 kills here, 80 kills, 22. I mean, it seems like half the army's doing decent and the other half isn't. These mighty horse doing really good with 146 and then 65 apiece for these two, and then this one not doing too good. I think that might have been the one just standing around. And then these mercenaries, Germanic Scout Riders, one of them doing insane and the other one doing crap. It does seem like half the army did amazing and the other half sort of just stood there doing something. On the Egyptian side, it looks like a large majority of the Egyptian army didn't do anything. The African war elephants only getting 105 kills. They were soaked twice, very, very quickly, which probably led them to not doing anything. These Gaelic Hunters absolutely decimated them. Ziz and Cav doing very, very decently. The Slingers not doing really anything. The Axemen getting absolutely trounced, not doing at all. I mean, you kind of want at least 1-to-1 in terms of kills if you're going to lose a whole unit. Once again, the Levy Throw Spears. I mean, this is the thing. These ones did 118 kills. These ones 50 and 26. I don't know. I don't know how good these are. I don't know. I might have to see more and more of these. Might have to test them out myself to see really how good they are. But they seem to be decent. And then they seem to be pretty shit as well. I don't know. And these ones didn't take any casualties, but did 38 kills. I don't know. Pikemen not doing very good. Pikemen aren't very good, to be honest. I'm not really a pike